Well, this is an extraordinary story this evening. It's not as big a shock as it might be in a normal week.
Trump and FIFA chief Infantino join legal push to unfreeze Abramovich's assets, including Chelsea FC. London, June 3, 2025. In a stunning legal and political twist, former U.S. President Donald Trump and FIFA President Gianni Infantino have formally appealed to UK courts to unfreeze the assets of Russian billionaire Roman Abramovich, including ownership interests in Chelsea Football Club. The move has ignited fierce international debate over the boundaries of sanctions, the autonomy of sport, and the creeping influence of geopolitics on football governance. The legal filing, submitted Monday in London's High Court, challenges the UK's long-standing sanctions against Abramovich, who has been under asset freezes and travel bans since early 2022 due to his alleged ties to the Kremlin and the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Trump and Infantino, in an unprecedented joint amicus brief, claim that the ongoing sanctions have inflicted disproportionate damage on the global football community and argue that Abramovich's stewardship of Chelsea was one of football's greatest modern legacies, unjustly dismantled. What's happening to Roman is wrong. He made Chelsea great again, Trump said during a press conference in Geneva. This isn't just about politics, it's about fairness, about sport, about freedom. Infantino echoed the sentiment, warning that using football clubs as tools of foreign policy endangers the neutrality and integrity of global football. When politics meddles with the game, we all lose, he stated. Political and legal backlash. The reaction from UK government officials was swift and scathing. A spokesperson for the Foreign Office labelled the intervention as an extraordinary intrusion into matters of national security and international law. Sources within the Treasury described the appeal as deeply concerning, especially given Trump's previous political controversies and Infantino's ongoing battles with governance critics. Legal experts suggest the move, while unlikely to overturn the sanctions directly, could introduce complex questions about the enforcement of international sanctions in a post-Brexit legal framework. The case is expected to proceed to a full hearing in July. Football at a crossroads. The case has also plunged football authorities into disarray. UEFA and the Premier League are reportedly holding emergency meetings to assess the potential ramifications. If the appeal succeeds or gains traction, it could raise questions about ownership regulations, financial oversight, and political influence in club governance. Chelsea FC, which was sold to a U.S.-led consortium in 2022 after the UK government froze Abramovich's assets, has not issued a formal statement but is believed to be monitoring the situation closely. Some fans have reacted with cautious optimism, recalling the club's golden era under Abramovich, which included 5 Premier League titles and 2 UEFA Champions League victories. Others remain wary, citing the billionaire's ties to Vladimir Putin and the original rationale behind the sanctions. Global reaction. Human rights organizations and international watchdogs have condemned the legal action. Amnesty International released a statement saying, "This is a blatant attempt to reverse justified sanctions against individuals closely tied to one of the world's most aggressive regimes. Football must not become a vehicle for political whitewashing." Political analysts suggest Trump's involvement may be politically motivated, as he ramps up foreign policy rhetoric ahead of the 2026 U.S. election. Infantino's motivations, on the other hand, are likely rooted in FIFA's ongoing mission to insulate football from geopolitical friction, though critics say this case crosses a line. What comes next? With a formal hearing set to begin next month, the case could mark a historic test of the UK's sanctions regime and the broader question of how sport intersects with international law. If the courts side with Trump and Infantino, it could signal a dramatic reshaping of both legal norms and the governance of global football. For now, the world watches as legal teams prepare, critics rally, and the fate of one of football's most storied clubs hangs once more in the balance.